And welcome to MotorsTV's coverage of the penultimate round of the 2011 World Rally Championship. And it takes us to the legendary mountain roads of Spain. Battle could not be tighter at the top of the World Rally Championship. Sebastian Ogier fighting hard to try and close down on Loeb and on Heaven, and 193 are the points that Sebastian Ogier has, having won the last 3 rallies. Loeb, though, has had disasters 3 times, having really big problems, including 2 retirements. He's now on 196, with Ogier closing in. And incredibly, Koki Heaven now ties at the top of the World Rally Championship with 196, with 2 wins to Loeb's 4, and Ogier now on 5. So, the longest rally of the World Rally Championship in 2011, 407 Ks, the town of Salou, just southwest of Barcelona. And it's 18 stages, 6 per day, a mixture of gravel and tarmac, as we had in 2010. Day 1 will be mainly gravel.
To adapt the rhythm changes and surface changes very quickly.
It's interesting because it's only one rally in the season like this, and we have to adapt to the conditions. That's rally. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to do like 2 different rally on the same one.
The gravel stages look quite tricky actually. Some of them are really nice and flowing, and other sections of them are really narrow, and lots of places that can catch you out. So, with some tarmac sections in the middle of the gravel stages. So yeah, it's a new challenge.
Well, a puncture in Germany, and then an engine failure in France.
You haven't got the best road position. Do you think that could have an impact on your title race?
Yeah, sure. It's a lot of loose gravel on the stages, so. And after it's 2 days on tarmac, so everything we will lose the first day will be very difficult to catch. So what can we do? It's our situation, so we have to accept it and then to do with it.
Victory in Australia for Heaven. Can he get victory in Spain though?
I'm almost going to attack like at every stage is going to decide the title. So just flat out all the way through. There's only 2 races to go, so there's no point of taking steady and collecting the points or thinking about the points. Now it's about win and beating all the Citroens.
After a tremendous 2nd place last time out for Dani Sordo, what can he do at home in Spain?
I think we need to think and try to fighting for the podium, try to do the best in the stages and to enjoy, and after we'll see.
So this is what it looks like. You saw tied at the top, Loeb and Heaven, with Ogier just behind. Aldi Matti now out of the hunt. Solberg, Osberg, Wilson, Dani Sordo an incredible 8th after just a few rallies. Henning Solberg, and then Kimi rounds out the top 10. Citroën Total can clinch the World Rally Championship for manufacturers here in Spain, but Abu Dhabi Ford are not going to give up without a fight.
I'd rather have
So an opening ceremony in Spain on the Thursday night. Ken Block, fresh from a holiday in Ibiza, clearly looking forward to the event, as are the rest of the drivers and crews. Huge level of support and enthusiasm for Sordo. He's been runner-up on this rally 4 times. Runner-up last time out, as we mentioned. Can he go one better? Well, the Mini's looking strong. He's looking forward to it. They're going to charge into the 6 stages that will make up day 1. 2 of them effectively new stages, 160 Ks. And some pretty long events taking part also in the dark, the final stage of the day, stage 6.
Este coche de aquí es. Bien.
So the familiar sight, Sebastian Loeb charges into day one as World Rally Championship leader, but only on wins, not on points at the moment. It's undefeated on this event since 2005. Last year he led from start to finish, and this opening stage of Pesel stage is 25.74 Ks. There's only a couple of corners in the second gear, most of it third, fourth or even faster. Very fast loose gravel, and last 3 Ks downhill. And initially you can see the problems that are starting to be caused, even with a 3-minute gap between drivers. The dust hanging in the air, even for Loeb, he was to say later, from the zero car that had gone through ahead of him, was to potentially cause all kinds of dramas. And as the split time started to come through for Mikko Hievinen, apparently seemed to be the case. Oh, and a small off for Mikko. Remember, the opening stages of the last few rallies have really caught him out badly. His home rally in Finland, well, that effectively ended his chance, even though he won all those stages. Sebastian Ogier had it off last year on one of the tarmac stages. Slightly better road position, of course, you would think, but this hanging dust clearly affecting everybody.
100 mètres droite 140 bon mini, droite 140 bon mini, 100 mètres frein droit, ouais, frein droite 120 mini, 120 mini, sur gauche 120.
For Jari Mattila, 7 stage wins last time out in France. His pace on tarmac seems to be right there. We know how quick he is on gravel. He's there to support Mikko Hievinen, as we've seen in the last 2 rallies, giving up positions for him. Perhaps the way he's going to do that is to try to take the fight to Loeb and to Ogier. But a Solberg runner-up here in 2010.
Line, 6 left, extra long, tightness, mid and 5 right left, opens, extra long, 3 mid and 6 left, minus long, tight, 5 minus tight, 4 minus half long, tight, 12 minus half long tight, and late 2 right minus tight, 1, go on,
Problems for Solberg though. Picks up some damage.
We don't have the parts to fix it. They just 4 right, half long, tightness, keep it in reverse. 20.
Oh no, for Pederer, so early in the rally. He was quickest in shakedown. Already it looks like there's some significant damage on the DS3 WRC.
Right, keep it. Pull in the building if you can.
A long stage, remember, as well, 25k, so the problem is going to be amplified massively. Hear the frustration. He says that's it. Oh, what a great shame to Petter Solberg. He's been putting some of his own personal funds into running the team recently. The struggle for sponsorship. One of his sponsors pulled out. No problems of funding for Danny Sordo, although David Richards from ProDrive was to say that the BMW, rather, DTM program and World Touring Car programs effective. Look at the amount of dust. Oh, he's coming in behind Matthew Wilson, I think, on the road. He would be, yes. He's 8th on the road. Well, ultimately, Danny Sordo was to lose some 43.2 seconds to the quickest time. You can see his eyes on stalks as he charged into Kenblock. Got his first ever WRC points here in Spain last year.
4 minus in, open side and 4 long, and right 6 long, open side and 4 minus, repeat side and 4 minus.
Of course, got his points in France last time out as well, so well rested after staying in Europe with his family, holidaying in Ibiza.
70, left right 5, opens tightens 5 minus into right 4. Opens very long, and entry 30, left 4 minus on tightens 3 at sign, 20 right 2 plus, don't cut, narrow, right 2 plus, don't cut, narrow, repeat, Jesus.
Oh no, you could hear the note said don't cut.
Sign, don't cut.
What did Gelsomino say? I told you, don't cut. Well, not as frustrated as Danny Shirode has been with his driver, Evgeny Novikov. Poor guy's been absolutely distraught, but such frustration for Block. Damaged suspension and steering, putting the end to the Americans' hopes. Meanwhile, Sebastian Loeb with a clear road in front of him, all bar some wisps of dust from the zero course car that had been through ahead of him.
300 mètres, léger droitier en ciel, 200 mètres, attention, frein pour gauche ferme 130 bon, pas corde, gauche ferme 130 bon, pas corde et long droite, ferme jusqu'à 140 bons en ciel à l'arbre.
Le bon dans le gauche, hein.
Ouais. Ferme jusqu'à 140 bons en ciel à l'arbre. Sur gauche 147, ferme 130 moins longtemps, vraiment pas corde.
So normally you'd expect that cleaning such a loose surface, such a fast surface as well, would hurt Loeb. But looking at the splits coming through behind, perhaps not as badly as you'd think. Let's watch to see what the others can do. Loeb's time, 15 minutes, 18.7.
Sebastian, end of the first stage in Spain. Obviously cleaning the road. How much loose is there?
It's loose, it's very slippery, so I don't know how fast it's cleaning behind. But for me the grip is very low, and so it's very tricky because it's sliding a lot.
You happy with the setup of the car, or are you going to try and make changes?
At the moment I'm quite happy with the setup. It's no major problem, so I have to find the right rhythm because we have to push hard.
So the question that Loeb said is, I don't know how much it's cleaning behind. We're about to find out. The second car through the stages, 31-year-old Finn Mikko Kievinen. See that dust hanging yet again. That's the timing already. It's looking unlikely, isn't it? Sure, Mikko did, of course, have that off early in the stage. Low sun is just after 8:30 AM local time when the first stage started. Not helping, of course. 15.4 seconds. That's a big chunk in a 25.7k stage.
I heard Jarmo saying that there was dust issues.
Lots of dust in many places, and now with the sun it made it even worse in places. And then we went off in one corner as well. There was double right-hander, and we went through the first one, and that was like a wall. I couldn't see anything through the dust, and I was turning too much inside and went off the road in one place. So luckily we didn't damage anything on the car, I think, but it wasn't easy at all.
Very frustrating, but you can see the challenges the drivers are facing. Rogier third on the road. Is it going to be any better for him?
50
Worse, in fact. 18 seconds is lost by Sebastian Ogier.
Sebastian, normally as a rule, the further down the order it gets faster, but everyone's getting slower. What's going on?
A lot of dust, impossible to see anything.
Did you have to stop at any point?
Not stop, but slow down everywhere, braking on all the straight line. You never know where you are, and it's very difficult.
Not as bad as it was for this man. That is the end result of that contact for Petter Solberg.
Not a good start to the day, Petter. What happened?
Well, we hit the rock, hit the wheel off inside in the corner. very, very dusty, and I couldn't see anything at all, and I can't do anything with it. It's the part of the game, and we haven't done a lot of mistakes this year, so it's just bound to happen.
So huge frustration. Latvala wants to come through, the closest to Sebastian Loeb. So it's the Ford second and third. Chris make a great performance in fifth. He deliberately checked into the start rather, a minute late to get a better position away from the dust. And got a 10-second penalty. So a good strong start with some of the S2000 cars like Juho Hannanen right in the fight. But disaster for Petter Solberg. Frustration for Ozjane Herverden. And Loeb, a surprising rally leader on a dusty opening stage. Back in a moment on Motors TV. Welcome back, and after the opening stage of WRC Spain, a 7.4 second lead is what Sebastian Loeb has over Jari-Matti Latvala, with Hirvonen and Ozjane and the rest chasing him down. Loeb knows he's in a massive fight to the end. He's been there before with that man, Mikko Hirvonen, in 2009. Which it is. Is it Ford, is it Citroen, is it Loeb, or is it Hirvonen who's going to come out on top in 2011?
At the moment, Hirvonen has 3 more points compared to Ogier, but difficult to know how it will go now. I think we are 3 in the battle, and the first one who will have any problem, I think, will be maybe off the fight.
I have not the best chance to win it, but mathematically it's still possible, so we never know. If something happens to Loeb, who knows what Ogier is going to do, so both of them definitely, they are kind of title contenders for me.
Looking back over the past 3 rallies, well, they say bad luck comes in threes. Can you believe the run of bad luck you've had?
Yeah, it's like this. That's life. It happens sometime. I have always been quite lucky in my career. Now I have 3 bad luck in a row, but every time it was something different. So what can we do? Nothing. And just hope that it's finished now and that we start again on a good rhythm.
It looks like it could go down to the wire as well, that, you know, to a last rally showdown. I mean, obviously 2 years ago you were in the same situation. I mean, what did you learn from that experience of coming so close and yet sort of falling at the last hurdle? I mean, does that experience help you, you know, potentially doing it again?
Yeah, I don't want to lose again. That's the only thing, really. Otherwise, I'm just maybe not so nervous as I was back then. Even though I remember back then I felt really relaxed and good about it as well. But somehow it feels like I'm thinking that even less than back then. So I feel good about it.
So the Terra Alta stage, 35.94 Ks, a real mixture of tarmac and gravel. This was the opening stage last year, and that was won by Sebastian Loeb. Can he do the same again? Ogier also won the Terra Alta stage, the second pass through. Interesting to see what you find. The first 16k very fast and considerably narrower than the opening stage, as you can see, gravel, and goes into 7k's of tarmac. Very demanding on the tyres, according to the drivers. Hirvonen clearly needs to try to stem the flow very quickly, because 15 seconds in one stage is not good. The dust's still there in the air. Well, let's see what time Hirvonen can put in against that man Loeb. Ogier, though, is clearly on a mission, looking very, very strong. Said before the stage wasn't going to charge and not worry about tyres, about the tarmac section where potentially there could be a lot of wear. Just the one compound of the Michelin lateral cross tyre, the hard compound for day one, then 2 compounds of tarmac tyre available for the rest of the rally. Place in the rally so far, Jari-Matti has shown his incredible pace this season on so many occasions. Had some bad luck rather than bad driving this time.
Jarru, otin 6 urat tarkka. Jatkuu se 3, eli nypyn pysy ulkona kivi. 40, varo, oikein 1. Jätin rosku keskeltä, Tiro jatkuu oikein 5 urat tarkka. Jätin oikein 2, nypyn.
Whoa, looks spectacular stuff for Jari-Matti there.
Oikein 4.
Well, Mads Osberg has recently celebrated his 24th birthday, been doing some promo work back in Norway to try and raise the funds. He's also recently clinched the Norwegian Rally Championship again. Strong rally last time out in France, was pleased with the progress he's made. Having to run a tarmac specification diff on day one, if that's affecting his time. Seventh fastest on the opening stage. Come through, 6th fastest, sitting now up into 6th position. Well, after losing some seconds on that opening stage, 43 seconds, sorry, my mistake, 43 seconds on that opening stage with all the dust really hampering me. It's huge frustration for Sordo. Knows that it's damage limitation. It's a similar story last year, had a tough first day. Going to come through the 4th fastest time, moves up into 5th position at the end of stage 2.
3 right minus, 100, line to 2 left plus.
It's that 7k of tarmac downhill section.
Need 2 left plus, in 6 right, in 6.
Henning 7th fastest on stage 2. And moved himself up into 8th, some 20.4 seconds behind Chris Meek. Meek had dropped down because he had a spin on stage 2. A good solid start to the rally, as you saw. What about Loeb though? What can he do?
Et gauche ferme 130 moins long. Et droite 140 moins. Droite 140 moins sur gauche à fond long tard.
Comes through with what was to be the 2nd fastest time.
Normally on a conventional gravel rally, first on the road is not the place to be, but in that first stage, and maybe this one, with the dust, it was a perfect place.
Yeah, in the first stage it was good for me. Even me, I had a little bit of dust in some parts. I think still from the zero car, from what was staying in the air. But this one shouldn't be so bad. I think now it's a bit more windy, and so we'll see. I had a very hard pushing in this one again. It's the only thing I can do.
The first stage this morning could be quite crucial in the championship, couldn't it?
Yeah, but it's still a very long way to go. So I think I cleaned enough stages now since the start of the season. So if one time I have an advantage, it's not so bad.
Very good point by Sebastian Loeb. He has cleaned an awful lot of gravel stages, hasn't he? Not just this year, but all those 66 rally wins, a lot of them being from the front. He having a note, really fighting hard to try and make the best of the frustration that he had in that first stage, off as we saw. Through 5th fastest, drops down to 4th position.
Mikko 2nd on the road. Obviously, we know the dramas of the first stage. Was that repeated again in here?
It wasn't as bad, but there was quite a few places where we still had dust. Well, I needed to slow down completely, but okay, let's see how much the boys are taking risks behind, but it's difficult. It's really difficult.
It was 8.8 seconds that he lost to Sébastien Loeb. What about Ogier? 2.6 seconds behind Kievan at the end of stage 1.
Ferme 120 plus mini et droite 140 à fond arrivé. 80 mètres, gauche 140 à fond en ciel.
Comes through to win the stage. 11 seconds faster than Hirvonen, goes up to third.
You've beaten Mr. Loeb in there, only just, but you've beaten him. Obviously just not as bad in this stage.
It was better on this one, but still some place we lost time because of the dust. We have to brake, but for sure nothing to compare from the first one. It was really better, it was drivable on this one, but still we lost a couple of seconds because of that.
Obviously not.
So, Loeb still leads by 8.9 from Jari-Matti Latvala. Ogier with his stage win up into third ahead of Hirvonen. Sordo fifth. Odsberg Meek down to seventh after his spin. And Henning Evgeny Novikov still going at the moment. And Juho Hananen round out the top 10 and leads the S2000 category. Well, it's all looking all about Citroën at the moment. One of their two superstar drivers is going to take the advantage though. We'll find out in just a few moments on MotorsTV. Welcome back to Rally Spain, the penultimate round of the World Rally Championship. Loeb leads Latvala by 8.9. Ogier, having won stage 2, is closing in the Les Garrigues stage. Just over 18.5 Ks. This stage got some of the roads that were used in 2010, but essentially a new stage. First 1.7 Ks of gravel, then just over 4.2 Ks of tarmac. That section was used last year, very tricky junction, then the final 12 Ks of gravel. This will be the final stage of the day as well, run at night time just after 7:30 local time. Now the gravel's starting to be a bit more of an issue for the man first on the road. As the rest of them start to come through, Hirvonen still fighting hard, but clearly not quite able to get into the rhythm that he would like.
Lyhyt oikein nopea lyhyt sisältä, varo ulko. Ja nyt oikealla täys 5. Vasen eri, kirraa pidä ja lyhyt oikein tiukka lyhyt kivi ulkona. Jatko oikein, kun kirra pahasti ja hämää. Heti vasen nopea, tiukka. Aja sumppuun. Huomio, varo 7. Vasen oikein tosi hidas, aukee. 5.
Comes through the 13:20.8, just 1.2 slower than Loeb. Next man through, Sébastien Ogier. He said won the stage last time. Stage 2, pushing hard to try to do the same on 3. 13:19.6 is Loeb's time to beat.
128 corps de léger dur, 128 corps de léger dur sur gauche 130 plus.
Comes through the 13:14.7. Now the gap just 11.9 between the two Citroën drivers at the top. Jari-Matti picked up some damage on stage 2. It was third fastest on 2. What can he do on this one though?
Jatkuu sen yksi pikku suppu. 80, vasen 5 älä lopussa. 30, oikein 7 ahdat.
Well, let's enjoy the run through the rest of stage 3, the Les Garrigues stage with Jari-Matti.
80, varo oikein 4 oli nypy paha suppu. 40, vasen 2 nypy kirraa 5 äkkiä. Heti oikein 6 tarkka. jatkuu vasen 5 ahdas. Oikein 4, Äläkivi kirraa, pidä. Heti vasen 4. 20 varo, oikein 2, heti vasen 5 hämää. Heti oikein 4. 10 oikein 2. 30 vasen 4 oli nypy, pidä pimennosta. 10 oikein 4 aukee. 20 vasen 4 oli pumppu ahdas. Heti nyppy keskeltä. 50 oikein 2 kirraa 5 ahdas. 10 vasen 6 pidä. 5 vasen 6 pidä. 20 suppu vasen 1 yli hypyn. Jatku oikein 2 yli nypy 30. Nyppy oikein 3. Heti vasen 4. 10 vasen 1 yli hypyn. 30 oikein 1 yli hypyn. 10 nyppy keskeltä. 30 yli nypyn vasen 3. 20 oikein 3 yli nypy kiviurassa. Sumppu jatku oikein 3 pitkä pidä. 20 vasen 2 miinus pitkä. Jatku oikein 3 yli nypyn. 30 nyppy keskeltä 40. Varo nyppy vasen 3 hämää. 10 jarru oikein 5 yli nypyn. Niin varo nyppy vasen 3 hämää. 10 jarru oikein 5 yli nypyn. Heti vasen 3 pitkä oli pomppu maali. Heti oikein 4. Heti vasen 2.
Galimatti comes through the 13-16-0. Takes 3.6 out of Loeb, now 5.3 away from the lead. Well, Sordo put in a solid stage time last time to move himself up into 5th position. Now perhaps being just outside the top 10 and the road position maybe working a little bit better for him as the dust seems to have settled somewhat. David Richards was saying that they hadn't done any significant testing. Danny was the victor in a race in Madrid recently, a kind of race of champions type event where he beat Formula 1 driver Jaime Alguersuari in the final. Perhaps helping him get a bit more practice on tarmac. Now 20.9 seconds away from Mikko Kievanen, who's lost chunk of time with that spin on stage 2, had been running in 5th, down to 7th now. Him and Paul Nagel said their mission here is to finish the rally. A lot of dust inside the Mini though. See the all over Paul Nagel's face.
Into 6 right, 100 mid over crest, jump 80, going right over watch this, over crest, 4 left, 50's going, right 3 right minus, sharp crest, and long, 4 left, tightens over, small crest over finish, 4 right.
Well, moves himself up ahead of Mads Osberg. You can see the challenge the two of them have faced in the car. Now 6th position, 27 seconds away from Danny Sordo. Said Mads Osberg running a gravel diff in the back of the car. Sorry, a tarmac dip in the back of the car because that's all they had. So on this dusty section, clearly affecting the car, losing big chunks of time on this stage.
Kortfyr höger plus över grön kuttligt 30, smal kort 6 höger på grön 25 vänster, håll in i smal kort 5 höger, håll in på grön 20, hopps med låg 5 höger nu för tidig kort 4 plus, håll in i vägdel, omgående 4 vänster i kort 5 höger plus till kort 5 höger plus i vinkel vänster.
8th fastest on the stage, uses 29.4 seconds to Ogier. But engine failure for Kimi Räikkönen, putting the 2007 F1 world champion out of the rally early on. Starting to wonder if this is the end of his rallying career. He certainly doesn't seem to have the enthusiasm he did have, but look at the gap at the front, just 5.3 now between Loeb and Lappala as they head up to service, with Ogier still very much in the fight. Hervenen losing a bit of ground. Sordo and Meek holding station, with Osberg there just behind Meek now after that last stage.
As things stand, it's looking good for your 8th world title.
At the moment we are far from that. At the moment I'm happy to be in front after the first half of the day. Maybe tonight it will finish quite equal, so it will mean that the dust made it more fair on the gravel finally.
It's been changed to 4-minute intervals between WRC cars. What are your feelings on that?
For me it would have been better if it changed to 1 minute, but finally for me it's okay. It's for sure it's not nice to drive in the dust, so that's it.
You're in a good position to take points off Sebastian Loeb and help your teammate Mikko Hirvonen.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. We try to keep pressure to Loeb, and for sure I want to be fighting with them. But Ogier is very close as well, so it's going to be a very interesting afternoon. And if you want to lead this rally, you need to do a perfect afternoon.
Seb, all told, it's been a pretty difficult start to the morning, hasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was very difficult to start on the first one because of the dust. So when you are in this situation, you just have to stay calm and try to do with the condition and to play with that. We lost a lot of time, but then I'm happy because we had a good drive on the second and third one. We still lost a couple of seconds on the second one because of the dust, but it's not a bad start.
Just in places you just couldn't see anything, and after my scare on the first one, on the second one, there's 3 places where I slowed down completely. I just should have take the risk and hope the road is there, so it cost me a lot of time, but have to carry on now.
You mentioned the second stage, you lost 19 seconds to Loeb. Was it purely because of the dust?
No, not all of it, for sure, no, not, but like 3 times in the fast place where you slow down completely, you lose a lot, so lost a bit over there, but okay. Nothing to lose now, so we just have to go flat out, and hopefully I can take some time back out of it.
Well, we should watch with interest to see the approach that Mikko Hirvonen and the rest of the crews take in the second run through the stages. 3 stages down, 3 stages to go on day 1. Ogier and Lappala putting pressure on Loeb. See what the action brings in just a moment. So after service, they go into the final stages of the day. Loeb leading Lappala by 5.3. The second run through Parcells and through Terra Alta. The final stage of the day will be held in the dark. We'll bring you the action from that in our day 2 coverage. But Henning Solberg frustrated there. Ilkka Minor chastising him, I think, a little bit. Apparently his intercom hadn't been working in the last 25 Ks of stage 2.
200. Flat 6 right minus, 150. Narrow 6 right minus long, 120. 6 right minus, long. 80, crest to 6 right long, over 300. Tight 3 minus with hose.
So 7th fastest on stage 4, and on stage 5 for Henning Solberg, sits there at the end of stage 5, 31.8 seconds behind this man, Mats Osberg.
Smal till höger minus. I 3 vänster minus. Håll in. 2 efter på 7. Till vänster minus. Håll in. Mitt på lite krön 50. Smal 5 höger minus. Håll in på krön.
The battle between Meek and Osberg well and truly on.
Kort full vänster plus till lite krön. I 6 höger plus, håll in på krön i full vänster plus 100. Lite sen smal 4 vänster, sten in. 6 höger.
7th fastest on stage 6, sorry, stage 4, sorry. Just half a second behind Chris Meek. And then on stage 5. Come through the 5th fastest time. Well, Mick, apart from that spin, has had a very solid opening morning on stages that he's not familiar with. Different to when he last rallied in the Rally of Catalunya back in 2005 in the JWRC. So he said all new notes for him for this one. The gap now between Meek and Osberg just 3.8 seconds, with Meek in 6th position. After that frustration of losing all of that time on stage 1, Danny Sordo has had to really dig deep to try and get himself back into contention, running in the top 6 for most of the day. Stage 4, he was 5th fastest, just 1.4 seconds slower than Sebastian Loeb. Stage 5, 4th fastest, now moves up into 4th position. We'll find out why that was in just a moment.
Ouvre pour léger droite 150 sur ciel face, 80 mètres droite 140 plus.
Well, we saw Ogier take wins on stage 2 and stage 3.
120 mètres gauche 140 bon rasé sur léger frein droite 140 millions tourne. Rasé qui ouvre 100 mètres gros frein.
Second fastest on stage 4 by 3.9 seconds.
Sur gauche à fond.
Just 2.5 seconds behind Loeb going into stage 5. Looking very, very strong.
Et ferme 130 bon sur droite, type accord de droite, type 100 mètres. Frein gauche 133 béton, 133 béton, 100 mètres. Gauche en 40 à fond rasé et 250 mètres. Sortie bois, gauche en 40 plus million mini, gauche en 40 plus million mini.
But Sebastian Ogier was to pick up a puncher on stage 5 and drop out of serious contention. Frustration for the 27-year-old Frenchman. And that, of course, handed a position to Mikko Kievinen. Ogier having dropped down to 5th position. For Mikko Kievinen, a great result, because stage 4 he lost 5.8 seconds to Ogier. Did take 3.6 out of Loeb. He was sitting 30.4 behind Ogier. 40.9 away from the lead. So Mikko Kievinen now up to 3rd, 31.7 seconds ahead of Danny Sordo. For Sebastian Loeb, though, much tougher afternoon for him. 4th fastest on stage 4. Jari-Matti Latvala was the man on a mission. He'd been consistently amongst it. We saw him say at service that he was determined to take the fight to the two Sebastians. And at the end of stage 4, he won the stage and took the lead. But it was an incredible time that he put in. 3.9 seconds faster than Sebastian Ogier. And so 13.3 faster than Sebastian Loeb. Leads by 8 seconds at the end of stage 4.
30 vasen 3, 30 jarru oikee 6. Heti vasen 7. 60. Oikee 4 kirraa yli nypyn, älä pikku sumppu. 200, nyppy, oikee 1.
And then the second pass through the 35.9k Terra Alta stage was perhaps, it definitely was even more impressive. As the split started to come in, it was apparent that Jari-Matti was on an absolute mission, the like of which we saw earlier in the year, particularly at Jordan, getting 2/10 of win in that rally.
jatkuu oikein 3.30. Otet 4 oli nypyn.
Jari Matti wins the stage by 8 seconds from Sebastian Loeb, doubles his lead to 16 seconds at the end of stage 5. You see the lamp pods going on. Tyre changes being made.
In the previous stage, there's a broken wheel. Yeah. Where did it happen? What happened?
Yeah, quite close to the start of the stage. I hit rocks. I was a bit wide at the end of a corner, and that broke the wheel.
Front or rear?
No, it was rear, but as the stage was very long, we had to stop.
So frustration for that man there, but in the end, at the end of stage 6, we see there that Jari-Matti Latvaro's dropped down a puncher for Latvala, and Loeb leads the rally now by 30.6. We'll bring the action from that stage in our day 2 coverage. Hervera now in 3rd position. Ogier, some work to do to clamber back. Sordo and Meek still in the top 6 ahead of Osberg and Henning Solberg, with Novikov and Matthew Wilson rounding out the top 10. But the battle between Mads Osberg and Henning Solberg looking pretty fierce. Chris Meek very much in that battle as well. So the end of the opening day sees us look ahead to another 6 stages of action on day 2. This time much more a tarmac stage, so some big work to be done overnight at service by the crews. And it could be a very different look with Sebastian Loeb leading on his favoured surface. And who would have thought that after the dramas he's had, everything seems to be falling into his lap for this one. But make no mistake, we will see a charge from Loeb from the front. I'm sure the others will not be giving up. We look forward to bringing more action in day 2. We hope you join us very soon on MotorsTV. Bye-bye.